All right, good afternoon, and welcome back to Princess Sits. And we appreciate every one of you who have been in expectation. It's a call, and we all understand that we must stay glued to these expectations until the coast is clear. And we have decided that we've been on this course for quite a long time, and this is not the time to renege on our expectations. Every today is still the 17th, I think, the 17th of September 2025. And so this afternoon, I actually want to address the stakeholders, the CEOs, the NGO heads, and possibly the cluster heads, just in consonance with the expectations of the masses, knowing that every leader, every coordinator, and every CEO that is entrusted with this assignment must have to return to the original terms of agreement, and also ensure that payments and disbursements are carried out exactly as agreed from the very beginning. Nothing more, nothing less. So this time actually demands critical alertness and careful assessments from all and sundry. We understand clearly that a lot of these NGOs or non-governmental organizations were established and raised by sacrifices, some of them by their visions and investments of their respective leaders. No one is disputing that fact. That it took effort, it took energy, it also took resources to bring them to this level. Yet the primary purpose of joining this collective project, which is either UAAG or the Pioneer Initiative, is not for private glorification or self-aggrandizement or also self-enrichment, but for service. That's the essence, and we should see it so. The central essence of every NGO within this structure is to serve. And you're not just serving the tables, you're serving the people and uplifting the masses. It was raised and recognized as a system of support, not just as a tool for anything or a tool for oppression. So every leader must now justify the original mandate with sincerity and equal accountability. I want to put this straight to the stakeholders that it is important to remember that the journey to this point was not uniform for everyone. It wasn't uniform for everyone. Some people bought into these pioneer positions at a cost. I understood. I later had to understand that some actually bought into this initiative at a cost of 1 million. When you even begin to hear of 240,000, I think that was almost close to the list of what some people entered into this initiative with. Some actually joined with 1 million, some with 600,000, some 500,000, some 240,000, some even 100,000, and some, half a pioneer, and the rest of them like so. Different stakeholders have made different levels of sacrifices at different levels to be part of this ecosystem. And these realities must not be forgotten or pushed aside. So every person who contributed at any level is actually deserving respect in this process. So this must be made clear that no coordinator or CEO or any NGO heads should use this opposition to create conflict or abuse within this grand ecosystem. The ecosystem is delicate. Yes, we know that. It's quite delicate, and the survival depends on the trust, the fairness, and the observances of agreed principles within every quarter. And to violate this balance will not only injure this the process and the masses that we have who have trusted in this project, but it would also endanger the credibility of the entire structure. All right, I'm going to be with you shortly in a moment. Don't go anywhere. This is Prince. Is it? Hi, where is this code coming from? All right, thank you very much and welcome back. Still on course. And just before we left off, we were trying to make us realize that violating the balance would definitely has a way it's going to cripple a lot of things and also injure the credibility of the structure by which this system is meant to uphold. So it must be noted that money has a spirit, and that's what I want you to know. So the way you handle it and the attitude with which it is distributed is going to either bring peace or chaos in this ecosystem. So leaders must take this warning so seriously. The moment alert begins to land, it is easy for pride, arrogance, and selfishness to begin to rise. And this must not be allowed. I'm sounding this very critically so that no CEO or NGO leader should suddenly transform into an unapproachable figure, like somebody trying to be a god in their own eyes or a monster that subscribers are forced to fear. Leadership in this system is not a throne of intimidation. It's a call for stewardship. That's what we should see this. So this is a straightforward plea, and redress is not being made after problems. Once you seek redress before problem starts. So it's being given now as a prelude to disbursement, so that every single individual will adjust their heart, they will adjust their attitudes and also their actions for the proper execution of what lies ahead of us. If order and humility are established now, definitely chaos would be avoided tomorrow. Then going forward, the coordinators and the leaders also must return to the foundation of accountability, because payment must go as agreed. The terms must be respected. The subscribers place their trust not just in the vision of the NGOs, but in the word and the promises of their leaders. And to betray that trust is to destroy not only your credibility, but also the faith of thousands who look to this project with hope, confidence, and assurance. So it is not acceptable to begin to alter figures or reduce allocations of subscribers or divert resources for personal gain. It's not acceptable to suddenly change your terms of conditions just after alerts lands. Please, I don't want to start repeating myself on this, as we know that the true test of characters is not when resources are scarce, but when they actually arrive in abundance. So please, subscribers must not suddenly find that their leaders who once answered their calls are now avoiding them by the time alert lands. They must not find that coordinators who once spoke with gentility or gentleness now speak with harshness. Such behavior is definitely going to be unacceptable. The disbursement period is not the time to become harsh, to become proud or self-exalting. It is the time to display compassion and true leadership. Having said that, one cannot afford division or strife at this point in time, but the goal of this entire grand system is the upliftment of the masses, and that vision must remain clear and and central. So finally, we must never forget that a lot of people have been into this system through personal sacrifice. Some of them is their last kobo that they entered with. Some of them is just the money for a particular, whether school or some projects that they plunged into the system. And as already stated, we know that some paid different categories of funds to enter here. Each sacrifice represents sweat and labor, So, and it's not acceptable to mock those sacrifices at any point. by mishandling the funds or treating subscribers with contempt. Finally, this is a straightforward call for order. It's a call for order. So let every stakeholders and NGO head check themselves before disbursement begins. Beneficiaries too, who are in expectation, they are expected to check themselves equally, to everybody to adjust to the concept of the terms and agreement. Adjust your heart, correct your attitude, prepare to serve as agreed, and do not let greed, pride, or arrogance spoil the process for you. Do not betray the trust of those who have believed in this project. So don't act like God. The days ahead is going to test the characters of every leader in this system. And may each one of us rise to the call with optimum integrity and humility, so that there will be no excuse, no abuse, no betrayal of any sort, and disbursement will go as agreed. Lead with fairness, serve with humility, and keep the system so clean. And I think this is the path forward for everyone. Thank you very much. This is Prince Sid, and in case you're new, I just felt to drop this because we are just at the nick where the miracle lies, and definitely you know that before you don't prepare for battle when battle comes. You prepare ahead of time before battle arrives. So these words are quite so golden, and they are very important at this time, so that everyone knows their position, their statuses before the alert comes. Money is a spirit, it has its own spirit. You need to be reborn again with money before you can overcome that spirit. So don't let it be the one policing you about or trying to manipulate your conscience or your lifestyle. Be in charge, and so things will go and pilot itself as it ought to be according to course. Thank you very much. In case you're new to this channel, do try subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss out on vital updates. When we drop one, you certainly have one. Thank you very much and have a nice day.